There's Captain Hook. There's Captain Hook. Is he on a break? Should we walk away?
No.
He's gonna have a cigarette, or I don't know. What do you?
No.
Cigar? Is a pipe? You're a
No,
pipe
we're
man.
trying to get Smee to park the boat over here, but
Oh,
it looks like
okay.
he's lost it again.
That
so.
Smee is incompetent. You got to get a
he's
different
gonna
guy. Glad you recovered from the alligator, though. I was really worried about you. Can I touch the hook, or is that wrong? It's not even sharp. He is a friendly, wonderful. You really have been softened. Your hook is much better than mine. Mine is a sad little finger. Am I allowed to hug? I don't want people to think you've gone soft, but I'll take a hug. Great to meet you.
Welcome to the unofficial Disney Tonight Show podcast. If there's one thing this world definitely does not have enough of, it's podcasts. So into the breach steps comedian David Studebaker and his zany band of sidekicks to bring you a multimedia experience unlike anything the world has ever seen.
Please welcome my dear friend and your host, Mr. David Studebaker.
Yes. Thank you. We are back in Storybook Land. I have my daddy shirt on that James bought me. Look at that. I
didn't buy it because you're my daddy. I didn't buy it like any kind of weird. It's a family set, so everybody knows.
It is.
Just so we're clear.
James does not call me daddy. He does not refer to me as daddy. It was fun watching again the Captain Hook endeavor. That was pre-COVID. I was not endangering Captain Hook's life, not wearing a mask. Our show, David's Ark, we did an episode of eco-friendly ways to do Disneyland, but basically it was just an excuse for me to walk around and tell jokes. Let's bring on the guy who was chasing me around with a camera all day, Luke LaCoy.
Hey, there's my daddy.
I can't. I don't.
Luke, you're looking a little dark on the sunset. Are you okay? Everything.
I'm fantastic.
You keeping that sunset vibe?
He's a combo.
What is in that mug? That's
not water.
Full disclosure, Captain Hook is my favorite of the Disney villains. Right after we saw Captain Hook, and that was totally random. We just look over and he was genuinely like hiding. So we kind of messed with his hiding spot. But right after we saw Captain Hook, we walked away and Peter Pan was walking by and he had like a string of like 15 kids behind him. And he walks by and I don't even remember what he said, but he said like some mean stuff to Luke and I. And we were like, what? Like, how is Captain Hook like super sweet and wonderful? And Peter Pan was a jerk.
Yeah, he was just upset that you didn't interview him, and he was, getting his frustration out. And
he didn't even see your camera, though. He just walked by and was like, hey, you have a dumb face, and then kept going. Another one of our mishaps was Luke and I nearly got shut down by the Disney Police.
What does that mean? Like, there is actual police at Disneyland?
There's an actual police force at Disney. They're basically like glorified security guards. I don't even know if
do they have guns?
They don't. I don't think they have guns. I don't think so. But they have cameras all over the place, and they tend to, when there's a character walking around, they will be kind of around the area just watching, make sure everything's
They're
kosher.
really like Disney Secret Service is what they are.
They are. No, really.
Yeah.
And they have a jail. They have a Disneyland jail.
All
So,
right.
and actually, I think
we're going to get thrown in it. I'm going to get thrown in Disney jail. We're going to do this.
Yeah. Well, I will say one of our upcoming guests in March, I believe a friend of his got thrown in Disneyland jail. It's basically just like a room they lock you until the real police come and get you. So we were towards the end of the day. We had no problem filming. We were going through all of their protocols. It was all good. But there was a shot we wanted to get in front of Mr. Lincoln, or the
Hall Presidents.
It's great moments
Disneyland,
with Abraham Lincoln.
Great moments. Yeah, great moments. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jake.
From the shadows again.
Yeah. So great moments. So we wanted to shoot something right there, and as we started shooting, Minnie Mouse rolled up, and then like a bunch of kids rolled up, and we were just trying to like scoot over and still just shoot like our last few things. But I guess like because I was holding a script, because we were doing like a direct to camera thing, the Disney police came over and they started they literally like interrogated me, and And then like after I convinced them that I was like following the rules, then one of the guys was like, "Hey, can I have your business card? I'd like to check out your stuff." And I was like, well, that turned around nicely.
And we were there first because it was getting dark, so we just needed a good spot with light. And I'm only holding like a small DSLR, so this isn't like, this could be anyone in the park. And he was like full on interrogation. Like, are you recording me? Turn your camera off.
Yeah,
like, what are you?
Yeah. What he said was that, and this is a note to all of you who may want to shoot something at Disneyland, because I was holding a script, they thought it was a narrative piece and not something that was just like our experience there. And then also, I guess, because they asked what I did and I was a comedian, they thought I was going to be like disparaging towards Disneyland. And I wasn't. I was actually like, that's the funny thing also, like I was showing like ways to enjoy Disneyland and the eco-friendly things that Disneyland does. And like, so I was like basically doing like a quasi ad for them. And then, yeah. So.
And you had your map shirt on too, like on top of it all.
Yeah, I was legit. I had the full
do
thing.
Do they have paper straws at Disneyland now?
They do.
Oh yeah,
and,
I hate that.
Yeah, I know. How dare they try to not kill marine mammals with straws going down their throat? You have to have the inconvenience.
I know, but it goes in my throat. It's gross.
Here's what you do: you have a hand. You have a hand. You pick up the glass and you drink it like an adult. You don't need a straw.
Some of the things there that you can't drink like that. Like when you get the Dole Whip with the stuff in it, you can't drink it that way, David.
You know what I do? I get the Dole Whip in the cup. I bring a bamboo spoon. If you watched the episode, you could have seen. I gave some nice ways
educate yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have to bring my own utensils too.
David, search David's Ark Disneyland on YouTube. Actually, we'll put the link in the bio, and then you can see the all the ways
that David cares about being eco-friendly at Disneyland. Bring back the good stuff, Disney. Huh? You want me to come? You want my money? You bring back the good stuff.
Believe it or not, James has worked on multiple episodes of David's Ark trying to help eco-friendly stuff. But he's got a heart of darkness when it comes to straws. Before we bring on Mando, the restaurant experience we had was horrific. Normally, downtown Disney restaurants are amazing, but this one, it was the bowling alley. I don't even remember what it was called, but it's the restaurant / bowling alley.
Splitsville,
yeah.
It was so loud. My ears were melting.
And you had a baby there too.
I had a baby. Yeah, my son at that time was like 9 months old. So, and he's a trooper, but even he got pissed off there. And then also where they positioned us was we were like right next to the lanes. Like there's a lot of restaurant that's not like we were basically people hitting strikes like right behind our head. And then the food was so expensive and not good. I ended up just eating my Go Macro bar. I had like a French fry in the Go Macro. So I'm like, I'm not paying for, like, this is insane. Anything I wanted was like $400. But the coup de grace, my son dropped a deuce and I needed to go change his diaper. I asked the waitress, I was like, hey, is there a changing table in the men's bathroom? She's like, oh, no, sorry. It's just in the women's bathroom. I was like, is there like a men's changing table anywhere or like a unisex? She's like, yeah, the closest one is the Lego store. So like it's like that's like way down the street at downtown Disney.
Could you imagine how uncomfortable that changing table is going to be being made out of Legos?
That's funny. So then my wife says, okay, I'll go do it. So she goes into the women's bathroom. She pulls open the changing table. Wedged in the changing table was a giant poopy diaper that looked like it had been sitting there for a while. Yeah. Luke, did you like Splitsville?
No. No.
Yeah,
it was too expensive, and then like we ended up like splitting a burger at Splitsville, which was still like triple the price anyways. So
James is a baller. He went out and he spent all his money there.
I split my Go Macro bar in half and had a protein. I had sunflower butter for mine. So that's that. Let's bring on Mando. Cheer us up, Mando. That got a little dark.
Mando.
Hey. So first off, Mando, I have to apologize to you because you multiple episodes have worn earrings on your helmet when there's more screens, I can't see it as well, and I don't notice it until afterwards. And I haven't given you the credit that you are due. So, do you want to show off your wonderful earrings to the audience?
Yes. Well, today these are my great grandmother's earrings.
Very nice.
Thank you.
So do you have a grilled cheese donut update? Were you ever able to do that?
So I have approached the idea to my mom, and I showed it to all of my sisters and my mom at the dinner table, and they were all equally disgusted. But I'm so curious.
Floridians are not allowed to be discussing about anything. It's literally Florida. Like,
oh, hey, do not
I love
offend
Florida. Hey, I love Florida, but let's be honest.
JamesGCreviston.com. Send your angry letters to James.
Go ahead. I love you, Florida. You're my people. We're all trailer park people in Florida, okay?
Oh, wow.
I'm mad about that.
No.
I'm sorry. That's okay.
Oh, Florida. I would never say
I love you, Florida.
Let me just say, James does not represent the views of the unofficial Disney Tonight Show. I would never offend people from Florida. You are strong.
I specifically said I love Florida. I specifically said I love Florida, but they're my kind of people. Listen, they're people who eat hot dogs inside macaroni and cheese. Let's not lie about who we are, okay?
Okay.
Not me personally, but
speaking of which, Mando, do you have a good Florida story for us? A good crazy Florida story?
My crazy first trip to Disney World with my mom. I was 3 years old. So I don't know if you guys have the Bear Jamboree in California, but we have it in the Magic Kingdom.
We did.
Don't have it.
We did for a while, but yeah.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, the Country Bear Jamboree.
It's basically like a show where you watch like animatronic bears sing to you. They pack you in, like it's like little benches you practically sit on. And you know, my mom was like right in the middle of all of it. So we sit down and the show begins, they turn the lights off and the bear starts singing. And my mom's liking it, and I just flip out. I start screaming, crying. I am like screaming bloody murder. Like I am so terrified of everything that's happening around me. So my poor mom, she has to like carry me while also crawling over everybody's legs to get out of there. And she gets to the end of it. And the cast members are like, you can't leave. And my mom's like, oh, I'm sorry. My kid's screaming. Like, I was like, I was hyperventilating. I thought I was going to be murdered or something. And the poor cast members had to take my mom through the emergency exit just to get me out of there.
Well, you know what I will say? Also, something I loved, I'm noticing because Mando has no peripheral vision. Your hands are stumbling around like an old person in the dark hitting the microphone. There's been like 8 microphone bumps during that story, which is fantastic.
The fun fact is, I have still to this day never gone on that ever since that.
I was about to ask you if you've ever gone back. That's good. Okay.
No, still kind of creeps me out a little bit. Maybe some like that's the only thing I remember from being 3. Like, ooh, no.
I don't know anything about that show. Like, what do they sing?
It's just like country music singing about being a bear. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
my sisters, funny enough, love that ride. So they would watch the show and I go ride Big Thunder Mountain.
Nice. That's a good choice. Yeah, that's a better choice. We're going to bring on Jake because we got to talk about what happened last week. And.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
There we go. Hey.
Maybe Jake operates better as a voice in the sky. I don't know. You're putting in strong work there. So our last episode, if you haven't watched it on YouTube or listened to it on a podcast app, we're on all of them. With Mindy Rickles, it was amazing. She roasted the show, but specifically, she roasted Jake in such a beautiful way, and Jake loved it.
Well, knowing that we were going to get Mindy on the show, I immediately knew one of us was going to get roasted at least, because Don Rickles is like the roast king.
Yeah.
So I was like anticipating it, but I never would have expected it to have been that funny, and I loved every second of it. I was like honored to be roasted by her. It was like creepily accurate how she roasted me, because she mentioned Legos, and I actually have some right here.
Like there was a couple times she was like, Jake, go play with your Legos. And like you would assume, because Jake's an adult, that that she was just like, she was saying that like, you're a little kid, go play with. But like actually, Jake has lots of Legos and he loves to play with them. So it was spot on.
I mean, I grew up playing with Legos all the time. I have like 3 big tubs of them, Star Wars especially. Right. But I recently bought this one. I hadn't played with Legos in like 2 months. No, I'm kidding. Like six years. Like it's been a long time. But I was at the store. I was like, you know what? I'll buy some. So I have some more over there. But I have Anakin's pod racer. I have this A-wing.
Nice.
They're so fun. They're for anybody. They're not just for children. But yeah, I thought that was kind of scary how accurate that was.
And then, she hit you with the blouse, which I knew. I even said it in the beginning of the show. I was like, I saw that. I was like, that shirt is way too spicy for her not to come out that shirt.
She did the shirt, and she bullied me into getting a new haircut.
That's right. She called you Dorothy Hamill. That's right.
Which is funny because literally the same day we were doing the show, I was talking to my mama, and she's like, you should cut your hair before the show. I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll just get it cut after. And then that happens. But I'm glad it did because
mom knows best. But no, it did work out. And your hair looks great. It was a great cut. You're looking good, but it was definitely meant to be. And also, I need to say for the record, because I got thousands of angry tweets saying that I was the meanest man in the world when Mando was doing her lightsaber show and tell, and Jake said he had a lightsaber. I heard that more as, Jake's kind of thing is he's not impressed by things. So it's kind of like I have a lightsaber too. Like it's not that cool, but I didn't know he genuinely wanted to show his lightsaber. And so it looked like I just blew past that. And I was like, that's enough, Jake. So my apologies. And so Jake, would you like to show us your lightsaber?
I would love to.
And I realize that does sound a little dirty. The Star Wars lightsaber.
My girlfriend thought you were a monster after you said that.
I know.
I knew it. I knew it was from the girlfriend. She's defending her love.
I have Obi-Wan's lightsaber, which goes pretty well with Mando's Ahsoka lightsaber.
Aren't they like $500?
The hilts themselves are a lot more expensive, and then if you add the blades on top of it, like mine costs $300 for all of it, including
Dan,
the
you
blades.
kids need bills. Like I gotta tell you, like I mean, man, glad you can do it, but my God, like $300 on a toy is tough to.
The college refund came just in time.
Yeah, right.
They have like holocrons and all kinds of stuff. The holocrons are like $100 and stuff. It's like crazy how expensive some of the things are there, but they're beautifully done. Like
it's like movie quality, honestly. It really.
Let me just tell you, as a married man, if I went to the store and instead of bringing home diapers, I brought home a $300 lightsaber.
You get it used on you. Get it used on you.
Yeah, it'd be just go
back to the store.
Where's the receipt? Hey, it's good to be young and beautiful and wonderful, and you guys live it up while you can, because someday you're gonna be like James, Luke, and I. Jake, you have a Spider-Man hot take that's gone viral on Twitter.
I went viral over.
I thought Twitter was just screaming at people about politics, but apparently
there is another world.
There's an underworld of Marvel fans. So the cast of Spider-Man released some very cryptic images on Instagram today. And they're like, here's the title of the movie. Tom Holland posted Spider-Man Phone Home, which is like an ET reference. The guy that plays Ned posted Spider-Man Home Wrecker. And then Zendaya posted Spider-Man Home Slice, which is my absolute favorite.
If it's called Spider-Man Home Wrecker, is it just an Aunt May movie?
Okay, jeez. Wow. I didn't think we could get more. Oh, we just lost our demo. This is going off the rails.
Anyways, so Tom Holland, as of this recording, Tom Holland tonight is going to be on Jimmy Fallon. So people are like, is he going to release the trailer and it'll show the real title at the end? But I noticed each logo that they release has a different color. It's purple, green, and like silver, black. And I said, do you know who else has those color schemes? the Green Goblin. So I posted on Twitter, and I have like 40 something followers.
Jake,
like,
you don't have to brag, all right? We're all human beings here, but continue. Sorry.
I mean, my phone is still lighting up from Twitter, but last time I checked, it had 1,000 something likes.
Wow. Mysterio is still out there. Those are also Mysterio colors. Like
we talking Rey Mysterio Jr. with the, the
yeah, he's going to do the 619 to Spider-Man. Anyways.
So one thing that in a previous show, we had my cousin Jimmy, the fabulous movie trailer, very excited, big break for James' career. But we didn't really get to talk about it as much as I would like. And the guy who James hired to play Gaston was so incredible, and James paid him. So we want to get our money's worth. So we're gonna play my cousin Jimmy again, and we're gonna talk about it for a little bit. So here we go.
A funny thing happened to Gaston on his way to the tavern.
You're a villain. Belle and Beast were in love, and you stabbed him in the back.
They weren't in love. She just had Stockholm Syndrome.
He got labeled a villain in a small provincial town.
I'm not a villain. Beast is the villain. I'm innocent.
Now this muscle-bound, gun-toting, egg-eating heartthrob is in trouble, and only one man can save him.
Do you know an attorney?
I think I can call someone.
He's not your typical hero.
Who?
My cousin Jimmy.
It's not his first argument.
You don't look like a lawyer.
You don't either, and your accent's stupid.
But it might be his best.
Jimmy, you can't argue with the locals. You stick out like a derriere. And stop eating my eggs.
You better have a good case.
Your Honor, listen up. Beast is the real villain here.
Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? Forget about it. Of course I got evidence. I got evidence you wouldn't believe.
Would you like to present any of this evidence that I would not believe?
Ay. Who does this guy think he is with these demands?
I'm the judge. But with Jimmy's case and Jimmy's passion, Gaston might be dead meat.
I have a bad feeling about this.
James D. Creviston is my cousin Jimmy.
I'm lawyering here.
Even though I did the poster for that, I still completely forgot that I photoshopped James's head on that body. I thought that was a real picture for a second.
The last line of that, I'm lawyering here, that catchphrase was inspired by our trip to New York, where wherever we went, James would just shout, "I'm walking here," just like no matter where we were, just shouting it all over the city of New York. Now, Mando, you're from New York. If you saw him just walking around shouting, I'm walking here, what would you think if you saw that?
Most New Yorkers like myself just ignore everything. You're numb to everything that's happening around
I
you.
love there was another mic bump. There's so many mic bumps. It's just...
She was ignoring it. I mean,
yeah.
I don't care about it.
But yeah, most New Yorkers, like, there was this video I watched recently of this girl just screaming and nobody turning around. And I hit it again.
All right, and what's the other way New Yorkers are?
And then most New Yorkers will take offense to that because it's like a stereotype. So people will literally just walk up to you and punch you. So I'm shocked you were okay.
Well, James is a fairly intimidating guy, so they'd have to be pretty brave to actually punch him. But what I'm more amazed by is that he survived the cab hitting him because he was determined to jaywalk. And Luke, back me up on this. He would jaywalk everywhere, and then when Luke and I wouldn't, he'd look back at us like we were the biggest wusses on the planet. And then one of the times he nearly got hit by a cab, and he like slammed his hand on the cab.
I've been to New York a couple times. Every time I turn into a New Yorker for however long I'm there, because New Yorkers will, as soon as there's no cars, they'll just start walking across the street. They don't care. They don't wait for the little person to show up that says you can walk. They just go. So
yeah, but Luke, back me up.
But you can't do it all the time. And I have to break that habit when I get back to LA, because in LA, people will run you over.
Yeah, LA, you're dead. Luke, back me up. The almost getting hit by a cab.
Yes, it was like a millimeter that the cab stopped. He like slams slams the hood of it, and he's like, "I'm walking here," and then he's like making this big scene on the cab.
And he was, but Luke, he was still committed at that point, looking at us like we were dweebs.
Yep.
I will say that is the most New York thing to do. Yeah. And be like, whoa!
When we first landed from our airplane and then got into our Uber to the Airbnb, that's when I noticed that like just James' accent started to change.
He was a completely different person. As soon as we landed at Newark International Airport, it was like, and he was insulting everything. And like, he was like, this airport is disgusting. And I'm like, James, he's like, what? It's New Jersey. They know it's disgusting. So
damn right.
James loves insulting other states.
I insult every state. I don't care. Every state.
But it's
I
so
love you
perfect
all. I
we're
love all.
talking about this because I'm actually wearing an NYC shirt.
Woo.
Oh, wow. Perfect timing. Jake, have you been to New York?
I wish. It seems super fun because I'm sick of LA already. I don't even live there. I'm sick of it.
Well, if you do go, you should bring James. It's an experience.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to be with you in this city.
I'm fun in New York, and I kept Luke safe twice. Luke he almost got mugged outside of a bathroom by some little kids. They were gonna mug him. I come out, I'm like, hey, what's going on? The kid's like, gone. They're about to run. They're like surrounding him.
And they could like smell the nice Canadian in Luke. It was just like, it was a scent.
Like, this guy's just from Niagara. Let's get him.
So I think that does it for our latest Laugh Hour. This was a blast. Our next episode is with Myra. She was the first ever Latina pop star signed to Disney Records. She did the theme song for Princess Diaries. And she did a bunch of other awesome songs for Disney. So that should be a really fun one. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or all of the podcast apps. If you've already subscribed, get some other people to subscribe. It really helps us. We appreciate it. But thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting. All of your comments and all that are super appreciated. We love you very much. We are the Unofficial Disney Tonight Show. See you soon.